about 8 feet right here. Yeah, I'd say just be careful about getting too close to the rocks. Probably the last one. You feeling okay though?
Yeah. It's like more seasick. Like.
Alright, welcome back to CatchFishNotFeelingz. We just got out from our dive today. The conditions are kind of rough. Visibility wasn't the best, and we didn't really see too many like trophy-sized fishes to catch. But we do have some sea urchins that I managed to harvest. So we're probably gonna open one up right now and like try it out on the shore. Alright, so right here we have the red sea urchin. They get bigger than this one, about this big usually. And you guys can definitely eat these ones raw. It's just like sushi at the sushi restaurants. But pretty much, this is an urchin right here. You got all of its spines to protect itself. And then you have like the mouth right here. So this is where you want to cut in everything. But we're just gonna eat some right on the shore, just to like test it out, you know. This is definitely as fresh as it gets. I'm gonna cut this out. Make sure you get all the water out. And you're gonna cut it in half pretty much. This is the inside. Right here. And all that yellow stuff is what we're gonna eat. So you want to get rid of all the green gunk. That's pretty much all the kelp it ate. And that's what we're not eating. We'll have a lot. Yeah, then feel free to wash it in the salt water if you need to. This is a bad piece. I kind of ripped a little bit. This is what we're eating. Let me see if I can get a better piece. Yeah, that's what we're eating right here. It's very delicious, very salty and sweet. Usually it tastes better when they're fresher too. Bon appetit. Fingers look nasty. But yeah, these are our sea urchins here. We're just gonna leave them in this pile of water just to keep them fresh. We caught 4 in total. We ate the smallest one right now, but I might save the big ones and do something at home. But we'll see. Yeah, really cool creatures though, these sea urchins. I know they're part of the echinoderms species, meaning 5. They're related to starfishes. So that's why usually when you open these guys up, you'll have like 5 pieces. Yeah, and it's because they're echinoderms, and echino, I think, means 5. So they're made out of 5 parts, usually. Alright, quick correction. I don't want to be telling people the wrong information on purpose, but the echinoderm is actually the family that the sea urchin is part of. And echinoderm doesn't mean 5, although they are related to starfish. Echino means prickly or spiny, and derm means skin. So it makes sense. Prickly, spiny skin. Sea urchin. Just putting that out there. Like I said, its mouth is right here. This is also where it excretes its waste too. And what we're eating is, we're eating their gonads. Pretty much their sexual organs, and that's what they use to reproduce. But you know, in Asia and like for other people, it is a delicacy and it's really, really good. You can make all sorts of dishes with it. You can make nigiri with it. You can make pasta. Just eat it like straight up raw. Eat it with rice and soy sauce. Usually the fresher ones taste very sweet. And this one was just no exception. This one was so good. But yeah, I'm excited just to like bring them home and see what we can make out of them. You're watching us cut these guys up and it seems kind of cruel. But I just want to, emphasize that these guys don't have, any, they don't feel pain pretty much. And they mainly only feel hot or cold or light. And yeah, depending on the temperature or like how cold the water is and stuff like that, that's when they'll spawn. Or if it's like, too bright or too sunny, they'll move to a darker spot. But yeah, these guys don't feel pain. They don't have a brain or anything. To my knowledge, they don't have a brain, and they kind of just mainly feel if it's hot or cold, and they'll move accordingly. And so, we're cutting these guys up, right? And yeah, they just don't feel pain, pretty much. Just wanted to point that out there. We are back in the kitchen. I decided to make sushi with the uni we caught. Let's start off by cooking our rice. I cooked 1 cup of rice but ended up only using half of that. Read the instructions on the bag for any measurements you'll need. Make sure you rinse your rice with water very well just to get rid of any extra starch. For the amount of water, a good rule of thumb is to put your index finger in, and when the water line is just below your finger line, then it's enough. bring the pot to a boil and then lower the heat and cover it. It should take at least 20 minutes to finish cooking. You'll probably get better cooked results if you use a rice cooker. So while that's cooking, let's prep our uni. I find it easier to use scissors. That way I can slowly chip out the bottom to make it more aesthetic. And you're gonna want to cut its mouth and pour out the water. And then carefully start cutting the bottom shells and chip it away. Try not to break any uni pieces. You're gonna want like the entire piece for a good representation. These guys mainly eat kelp, so that is what's gonna be inside them mainly. This might take a little while and it can get a little messy. I'd recommend doing this in the sink and use a pair of gloves. The water inside these guys can stain your fingers a reddish pink for a while, so the gloves will definitely help with that. Use a spoon to kind of scrape the uni piece off the shell so it's not stuck. And just as I finished doing this, the rice actually finished cooking. You're gonna want to remove it from the pot and transfer the rice to a separate bowl. I might have put too much water or didn't cook it long enough because my rice was still a little mushy, but it was alright. You're gonna want to pour in your sushi vinegar in. I made this by mixing 3 parts rice vinegar, 2 parts water, and 2 parts sugar. I gave it a good mix beforehand and poured some into the rice. Set that aside and let's finish prepping our uni. You're going to need a bowl of water and a plate with a paper towel. We're going to use that bowl of water to clean the uni meat as we scoop it out with a spoon. And then we're going to place it on the plate so the paper towel can soak up any excess water. It's going to take a bit of work, but it'll be worth it. Use your fingers if you have to and try to get all the kelp off the meat. After we finish, we're going to give it one last good rinse just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Now, we're almost prepared to make our sushi. With a sheet of nori, which is seaweed, we're gonna fold it into 4s and break it off into strips. This style of sushi is called Gunkan Maki. I apologize if I butchered the name and didn't pronounce it right. All I know is that it translates to battleship, and I guess it's because we wrapped the sushi with the nori so it looks like a little ship, sort of. But this was my first time making this and it seemed pretty simple enough. I got a decent amount of rice and formed it into a little rectangular ball. I then wrapped the nori sheet around it and started placing uni pieces on top. My rice was a little wet and mushy, so I think that might have made my nori a little soggy instead of keeping it crispy. Other than that, it felt pretty simple to make. I kinda wish my nori sheet was smaller so I can make smaller bite-sized pieces, but it was still good. I like to think that as I kept doing this, I was getting a little better. And I figured that using a grain of rice or 2 as glue would help the nori wrap together nicely. There we have it, Gunkan Maki, some sea urchin sushi. I think each piece usually goes for about $4 to $5 each in restaurants, and a whole sea urchin is about $15. And you know, we went diving out there and it was free pretty much. I might be wrong about the price, but feel free to correct me in the comments. Uni is such a unique flavor. The uni itself is somewhat an ocean saltiness with a hint of sweetness. The nori provides a slight crunch and holds it all together really well, and the rice kind of helps balances out the flavor. I was craving something a little bit more salty, so I decided to grab some soy sauce. I think some sushi chefs put a little bit of wasabi or soy sauce in between the meat and rice, which I might try in the future. If y'all have any other uni recipes that I should try, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll definitely check them out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to check out my other videos. Follow me on Instagram for more content. And remember, catch fish, not feelings.